Welcome, gamers from around the globe. You've dropped into the best place for Game Pass news. That's right, it's the Game Pass Tracker Show. This is episode 128, recorded live, I tell you, Thursday, November 16th. I'm Nick Metzger, here with the best dang co-host a guy could ever have, Mr. Sean Abbott. We're about to fill your brain with all this week's bits and bobs of Xbox, like a December GTA reveal, for real? Say win for Hellblade 2? And of course, the Game Award news that gave some in the Xbox community the blues. We break it all down for you. Tracker family, you better sit down. You better buckle up, because Game Pass Tracker Show is one crazy ride.
Hello, good evening, Nick, or good morning from the UK.
Good morning.
I am actually here this time because, like unlike last week where I failed to wake back up for the podcast. But that's what you get for being an adult and a father and trying to do this as well. The time zones sometimes don't match up, and I end up very tired. But anyway, welcome to today's show, and welcome everybody to the Game Pass Tracker Show. You can find us on pretty much every social networking app. Just search for @GamePassTracker. If you have any thoughts, any questions, do not hesitate at all to shoot us an email. You can do that at show@GamePassTracker.com. That's show@GamePassTracker.com. And if you're liking what you're hearing, we'd love to hear it. Give some feedback, give us some review on your go-to podcast platform of choice. It really helps us grow and reach more fans. And of course, we wouldn't be the Game Pass Show without promoting the Big Daddy itself, Xbox Game Pass. If you love Game Pass, you love our show, you want to show your support, head to the description and follow the link and sign up to the Game Pass within the next 24 hours from the Xbox.com website. You'll not only be supporting us, the Game Pass Tracker Show, you'll also be signing up to the best gaming subscription going, which is Xbox Game Pass. You sign up to whatever level you desire, be that PC Game Pass Core or Game Pass Ultimate. Just play it your own way by using the code in the chat or show notes. You'll help us continue to create this awesome content we love making for you, our amazing fans. So, without further ado, Nick, let's head into the Game Pass headlines.
Well, Sean, before we get too far, I do want to say we had talked about and I think promoted that Mr. Garrett Atkins, our fearless leader and founder, would be on this week. I do want to say he is sad to say he could not make it, but he plans to be here next week. So just know that is a thing that we certainly hope to happen. And we will be so honored and can't wait to have him on. But the show goes on, and we are going to put on one dang good Game Pass Tracker Show, as we always do for you. But look forward to that next week. We are going to be talking about all the games that have dropped in the last week or two, starting with out last week. Was it last week? No, it was Monday. Our notes have me all confused here. Out on Monday was Spirittea. I have played some of this game. Oh, I don't know, Sean. Should I talk about it here or should we do it in the dashboard? What do you think? We should have had this conversation before now, but let's have a meeting. Who cares? Let's just have a little meeting, you and me.
I don't know. Give us a quick lowdown now, and then you can get into any.
Fair enough. As you can see in our B-roll, or if you're listening, you can't. It's Stardew Valley type art style. Except you're running a bathhouse instead of a farming. Instead of a farm, there's more story in this game than you might have in a Stardew Valley. You're trying to help the spirits. As you help the spirits, that gives you more customers in your bathhouse, and it's a lot of fun. It's good time, is what I would call it. So yeah, I will give you a little bit more of a breakdown when we get a bit further in. But I feel like we missed some stuff, Sean. Can I just we need to back up? I think our notes are a little kerfuffled. It's the 6th. We should have started on the 6th. I don't know what happened to Football Manager and all that. We missed a couple things here. So,
okay.
So November last week came out, just so you're up to date. November 6th was Football Manager. That was available day one on Game Pass. Step into the shoes of a real football manager this season. Pick the perfect club for you from a choice of more than 55 nations. Remember, this is not a game where you play soccer. This is a game where you do all the logistics about soccer. You do everything but play it. Is that about right, Sean?
Yeah, that is right. Yeah, everything but play it.
Which really just baffles me, but I mean, I guess I somewhat get it. That was the same thing with the F1 manager. You do everything but drive a car. So there you go. Next game that came out last week, Thursday, November 9th, Dungeons 4, available everywhere. Also day one. Sean, I played this game. I played this game because I was confused what the hell it is, and I will talk more. I mean, I've seen this trailer now 1,000 times. I've read the write-up, it seems like 1,000 times. I'll talk more about it, but just to say, it's a nation-building game, and your nation is a bunch of Hellion demons, and you got to go rule and you have to go kill any goodness that exists in the world. So I don't know who's playing this game in real life, but sometimes it feels like they're winning. That's all I got to say. Sorry. Next, Like a Dragon Gaiden, November 9th as well. Also day one. Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name. Erase your past to protect your future. Once a legendary Yakuza, Kazuma Kiryu faked his own death and abandoned his name for the sake of protecting his family. Now he's thrust in conflict by a mysterious figure attempting to drive him out of hiding. All right, next, Wild Hearts, also November 9th. What a brilliant day that was for gaming. Only play this on Game Pass Ultimate. Play it anywhere you want. Play it everywhere you want. Are you ready to tame the world gone wild? This Monster Hunter-like, I added that in there. This Monster Hunter-like game lets you master ancient tech to hunt down giant beasts. I've played this game, Sean, and I got to say I actually somewhat like it. When I say I've played it, I tasted it. I played it for about 2 or 3 hours, and it was pretty fun. I like it better than my 2 or 3 hour taste of Monster Hunter. So I will say that.
Just very fun. And you were excited to try this because you wanted to get into a Monster Hunter-like game. So yeah, I'm happy that you enjoyed what you played of it.
Yeah, it was a good time. So we talked about Spirittea, November 13th. For all you cozy, crafty, comfy gamers, this is your week, baby. Game Pass, you got Spirittea coming out, and then you got Coral Island. And I'm going to talk about Coral Island in a little bit, but right now we're just going to read what it says, because if you don't got... No, never mind. Coral Island, Cloud and Xbox Series X and S, November 14th. That's Tuesday, by the way. Been out for a couple days now. Available now already on PC, now out on Xbox Series X and S. Coral Island invites players to be who they want and experience enchanting island living at their own pace, living off the land, nurturing animals, building relationships with a diverse cast of townsfolk, and making the world around them a more vital and harmonious place. Like I said, stick around. I got more to say about this game in a little bit. Oh, yeah, and Persona 5 Tactica. There is another game. My bad. It's really weird. It didn't make the Xbox Wire drop. It seems like such a large game to not make this drop. I don't understand what's happening.
They seem to be really super excited about this in the summer showcase. But I don't know if that Xbox Wire drop was just outdated and there should have been a new one come soon, but who knows?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, sorry. There has been one. There has literally been one today, and it shows June. What else does it show? Very quickly trying to find this. So yeah, there's one literally dropped today. So with June Spice Wars there, Persona 5, Tatica, and Rollerdome all sat there.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah. And so those are out, or those will be out. If you're interested, Persona 5 Tactica is a Persona 5 it's a built in the Persona 5 universe, but it's a turn-based game. Just so you know. And so yeah, in Rollerdome, and those games aren't coming out next week though. We kind of have you're gonna have a turkey moment I think that's what it is. I know not everybody celebrates Thanksgiving right now. You got Canadians; they celebrated it a month ago. UK is apparently you guys celebrated every Sunday. Sean tells me basically, but in the US we're celebrating Thanksgiving this coming week, and I think they're giving a Thanksgiving break. They might surprise us with a game drop. Who knows? It's always a possibility. But as of right now, we haven't seen anything for next week, and I'm getting the feeling that we probably won't. I'm getting the feeling that we're probably getting a little break, and so yeah. There you go.
Yep. I mean, in that break, it gives you lots of time to hopefully get a patch for one of the games that you have played, which you're upset about, which you'll probably go into more in the dashboard. Also gives me more time to play Forza and Thirsty Suitors more. So, cause I reckon I could finish Thirsty Suitors in the next week.
Oh, so it's a shorter game, eh?
I wouldn't say it's a shorter game. I think I can put some serious time into it.
Fair enough. Okay. I like that. That's good. So, Sean, we got new games leaving. What's a leaving coming November 30th?
So, as of November 30th, leaving from everywhere. It's ANVIL, Disc Room, and Eastward. I can't remember what any of those games looked like because none of them ring any bells.
So Disc Room, I looked Disc Room up. Disc Room is is the one with all the saws, and it's you there's all the saws flying around, and you got to try to. It's top down game, saws going everywhere. You got to try to avoid all the saws so that you can get to the end of the room basically, and then you just do it all over again. Many saws. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a roguelite or not. I don't know.
I think that's what it was, and I think every time you got so far, you got points, and you could upgrade to move faster. And yeah,
that was my thought, but I wasn't 100% sure. Here, let's take me back here since we're no longer talking about Persona. Yeah, again, that was my thought, but I wasn't 100% sure.
Yeah, and then leaving for the console is Battlefield 1943, which is a no-brainer. I don't think anybody plays that anymore now. 2042 has got its recent update and seems to be doing a hell of a lot better. Same with Bad Company, because that's an old game. So I think they're just making some room with some of the old EA-style games. Also, Grid is disappearing because now Forza Motorsport's out. Nobody's going and playing Grid at all.
Mm-hmm. I wondered if you were going to say that was the reason. Makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. And then leaving PC and console is Battlefield Bad Company 2, which was a fantastic game. So hurry up and get that played before November 30th. If you haven't ever played it before, or if you want to go back for nostalgia's sake, go play it. So
there you go. And as I always say, if you're interested in any of these, you have till November 30th to buy them or beat them. Remember, if you have a Game Pass subscription, you can buy them as long as they're still on the subscription for 20% off.
That's true. And then if you want to look for the most up-to-date place, clear-cut, for any clear-cut information for what's out there, or what's coming soon, or what's leaving, best place to go is GamePassNews.com.
That's right. So let's head on into the X-Feed. X-Feed is our top stories. Top stories for this week. We have 6 top stories, not including some bulletins and a feature. First top story is No More Robots. The Spirittea developer on Game Pass says they are very, very happy with their time with Game Pass. Very much, they say it very much works for them. So just to take an exact quote, he says, this is, used to be a nice, but there have been, no, you're going to, nope, sorry, just kidding. I thought that was a quote.
I guess that's about the game, isn't it?
That's about the game. That's not what I wanted. Well, anyways, he says it very much works for us. Where's
that article going? Because that's not taking you to the right place, is it?
Yeah, it is. I just had to go down further.
Okay.
So it's an article, or it's an interview between Mike Rose and Pure Xbox, Micros of Spirittea publisher, and they ask him, was it always meant to be a Game Pass title? And he says, I never signed it to be a Game Pass title, but it certainly makes sense for us, mainly because we just want as many people as possible playing it. Like I say, it's a huge game, so I imagine a lot of Game Pass subscribers are going to feel like they're getting their money's worth in November. And I would agree. I'm playing it. I'm liking it. It is a good game, and I think it's awesome to hear developers and publishers talk about how Game Pass works for them, because so often you get the story that, Game Pass just pushes aside all the developers and publishers and they get screwed over. And apparently that's not always true. We keep hearing these stories of publishers and developers that really love the service.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, sorry, I'm catching up slowly. Yeah, I don't have any thoughts on that. I've not played the game. Yeah, I haven't played the game to kind of say what it is, but it's nice that somebody, especially a developer, is turning around and saying, "Hey, look, it's not all bad press to work with Game Pass." Because in the past, we've had people say that they've not enjoyed the support, or have had too much support to the point where they feel like they're being interrupted too much with their own process. So it's nice to hear that there's some positive reinforcement coming from that.
Yeah. That's story number one. Story number two. Matt Booty suggests Hellblade is a late 2024 game. He is the Xbox president of game content and studios. And Sean, I believe this is a new title for him. I don't believe this was his title.
No, I think he's been given a new position. I don't know if they've had a full shuffle, but I know they've been having a small internal shuffle.
Yeah.
Especially after the ABK acquisition went through.
Yep. So. Yeah. I don't know if this was meant. I kind of wonder, and I don't know this, but I kind of wonder, only because it seems like he gave a lot of information that would have been a whole lot better presented in a in some type of showcase. And I kind of wonder if he just started talking about what they were doing, and when he got done, he was like, I don't know if I should have gave all that information. So basically, he says, and I think with Starfield, and then going into Forza Motorsports, now he's talking about the fact that they have a goal of having 4 significant first-party titles a year, okay? So that's where this kind of comes from. He says, and I think with Starfield and then going into Forza Motorsports, and then as we head into next year, we showed the game Aura, History Untold, and the game Towerborn at Gamescom. We've got Hellblade 2 that comes later, so it feels like we're getting there. And I just feel like maybe he didn't realize how much information he just shat out of his mouth. I just that's a lot of info that we didn't know, pertinent info that feels like it would have been better paced and dropped in a much more PR way. But I don't know what.
Yeah. So his new title of president of game content and studios might not be his title for very long.
No, Phil's a forgiving guy. You got to learn somehow, and whatever. And I mean, I don't know. Maybe that is what. Maybe Phil said, "Hey, go out there and give him a nugget." Who knows? But it seems like a lot of info.
Well, yeah, because he could have gone out there and say, "Look, we haven't got anything Activision Blizzard to tell anybody, or if we have, don't tell them because we're not allowed to tell them yet. Yeah. So go out and just give them something else. Give them something else to talk to distract while we do the other things around the corner."
Yeah.
So,
yeah, 100%.
And I don't mind getting that information. So, and I completely agree with the spacing out the large games coming from Microsoft Studios, because it makes absolute sense. I mean, Starfield, I think is Hambone Johnny is the only person in our community or group of friends that we know that has hit every single achievement for that game. I know with Forza Motorsport, I am going to be putting hours and hours into this because I already have. I've put 6 hours into it this evening. So, oops. And then obviously, I'm going to chuck myself at Hellblade 2 because it seems very deep and immersive. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I need some time. I need some time to get through the other games.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say, okay, so there's a few things here. One, there's just the funny thing of like, I'm not sure if he was supposed to say all that. Okay, it is what it is, whatever. Not the end of the world. The second thing is, man, Hellblade 2, if it really is like the third out of 4 games, which means I'm guessing, like a September drop is what you're thinking, August, September drop of 2024. Man, I really did not see it being that late in 2024. Quite frankly, I really thought we'd see it this year, to be honest. I selected it in a fantasy critic league, and I still have it.
Yes.
Yeah. Not winning either of those leagues. I don't even remember what's going on in those leagues anymore. I should probably look at those. That would be a good idea. I have no idea what's happened in those. Anyways, so it's interesting that it's as late as it is. Also, I mean, this was a great year. Okay, great year for Xbox. But I'm looking at next year and I'm like, I'm not blown away by what I'm hearing here. He's like, listen, we got 4 games. Let me tell you what 3 of them are. Ara, History Untold, Towerborn, Hellblade 2. Okay, Hellblade 2, I'll play it. It's fun. Sounds good. But I don't know. I'm not blown away by next year's titles, that's for sure.
No, and I think they're going to lean heavily on the Activision stuff for next year.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see.
You're right.
That's the way forward. I mean, if you want to talk about what they've been doing in terms of Activision stuff or other things other than games, I was going to talk about it a little bit more in the dashboard, but there is a mobile game that Microsoft Studios has worked with another company, and I can't remember the name of the company now, Hutch.io, to bring out a Forza mobile game, which is a bit like Candy Crush, but with Forza Motorsport. So, they are doing other things in the background as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. Yeah, so I think that's interesting. And then the other thing is, if there's 4, he was smart enough to really stop before the 4th game. And so what is the 4th game?
Doom. Give me Doom.
It's always your answer. Doom. It's always Sean's answer, damn it. It's always Doom. Like, Doom.
Like, just give me more Doom. Look, it was teasing
Sunday
that
school
leak.
Jesus answer. Doom.
I mean, it was in that the leak that we got earlier on in the year with the controller and the console and bits and pieces like that. Doom was in there. It was one of the titled games, so I'm still waiting patiently for that to appear.
Yeah, I get you. It's Avowed. That's what it is. That's what I. And I'm the only reason it's Obsidian's Avowed. I'm almost 100% sure. I'd place money on Sean. Just like gave himself a bath. Viewers, if you're not watching, or listeners, if you're not watching, he just needed some soap. Is all he just needed when he took that drink.
I can't lift my. I have. You'll see me every now and then if you're watching this, and for listeners who you haven't watched this, I am like rubbing my left shoulder every now and then because I've done the old person thing of sleeping funny, and it's stopping me from lifting my head up too much. So trying to take a drink out of a big bowl is really difficult.
I love it. That's the shittiest thing. I mean, if you're listening to this and you're like 20 something, God bless you. Live it up. I'm an old man here to tell you it's really crappy when you get out of bed and you're like, and then you got to tell your wife, you're like, I hurt. You're like, why? Because I fell asleep. Okay. That's why, yeah, that's just how it goes. I fell asleep and I hurt myself. It's not like, remember when you were 20 something, you're like, yeah, I was running and I was doing this thing and I pulled a hammy. Nope, not anymore. Now you just fell asleep and you woke up.
Yep.
Anyways, that's a squirrel moment.
Sneeze wrong and I'm.
That's right.
Sneeze wrong and I'm fucked.
Oh man. Hambone's turning 40. Man, he's gonna join the club. Congratulations. Happy to have you. Anyways, what were we even talking about? I don't know. Oh, games. Yeah, I think it's gonna be Avowed, which is kind of a bummer. There are other games I'd rather play, but Obsidian, Obsidian's made one of my favorite games on Xbox so far and Grounded, so I am all in on Avowed. I will definitely play it, and I mean, not that they've told us that's what the game's going to be, but I really I really think that's the fourth baby right there. So there you go. 22 years game. Oh no, I'm sorry. Story three. Xbox adds a leaving Game Pass warning because we're stealing too much of their freaking thunder. That's what it is. They're like, dang, we got to catch up to Game Pass tracker. So now if you start a game and they have announced that it is leaving, they will tell you, like, so if you start Anvil, Disc Room, Eastwood, Battlefield, Grid, you will get a warning that says, hey, listen, you got 2 weeks, baby. Doesn't say it like this, but they should. Literally, Phil should come on with like a drink in his hand and be like, "Hey, listen, baby, you got 2 weeks to finish this game. So best of luck to you. I hope you do it. Otherwise, you can buy it for 20%." And then he just opens his shirt up, and there's like the games are just like a good old like pocket watch salesman from like the 1800s. He's like, "Or you could buy it. See right here, right? See, you could buy it right here." No, anyways, just click on my shirt. That'd be fantastic.
See, I like this. I like that they're doing this because it's a definite step in the right direction.
It is
for the service. So because it is a bit rubbish if you don't follow like I don't know, if you don't follow Xbox on Twitter or Facebook or anything like that, and you don't listen to our show, which you should listen to this show because we'll tell you every week what's leaving and what's coming. Then you might not know, and you might start a game and then literally like 2 or 3 days later go to play it and be like, hey, it's not there. What the hell? So I think it's a really good step in the right direction. It's a great quality of life change. So
sorry if you are hearing lots of noise. My small 30-pound daughter walks on the floor like she's an elephant. I don't even know like how it's possible. No, I think it is a good change. Very customer forward, consumer friendly, all good. Like I think those are the moves that they need to make to curry the favor, to make people feel like they're not just trying to screw them over. So, amen. Story number 4, Xbox is 22. So guess what? When the Xbox goes to bed, it doesn't get a hurt shoulder because it's only 22 years old. So God bless it. Good on them. 22 years of Xbox. What do you think, man? And you've been there for all 22, right?
I have had every single orientation of console that they have released in the 22 years. And yeah, awesome. I love it. Bring on more. It shared a birthday with my son, which is always nice. Because that was on the 15th as well, I believe.
Yeah, yep, it was. Yeah, it was yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry.
So,
if you're listening, they turned 22 on Wednesday, November 15th. Yeah.
I think it's great. I think they could have maybe done more. Give us a what do they call them? Backgrounds that move now. Christ.
Mm-hmm. Dynamic backgrounds, I think is what it's called.
There we go. Dynamic background. We should give us another dynamic background. No, we've already got the original like Xbox globs that float around, but something else from that era would have been nice. But yeah, I think it's great. I liked the fact that they seemed super hype about sharing it. Some kind of, I don't know, when it hits 30, I'm hoping we'll get some like commemorative console that you can get, which is like like the Series X or whatever the console is at that time that's big. Put it in the original casing and sell that. People are go nuts for that.
I mean, I'm assuming when it turns 30, we'll probably get Fable. That's my plan. That's what I think is probably going to happen. I'm sorry. We actually got it to you guys. Here it is. Remember 12 years ago?
Thing is, now you brought up Fable. Now Turn 10 have finished messing and Playground Games have finished messing around with Forza content and bits and pieces like that. They might actually be focusing on that game now. So,
you're telling me your freaking car game is the reason I didn't get Fable? God bless you. You're lucky. You're lucky. Oh, jeez. Probably true, though. Probably true. Anyways, I love my Xbox. I wasn't there for all of it. I was there in the beginning. Dropped out on the Xbox One. I'm sorry. I was unfaithful. Please forgive me, Xbox. But I've talked about the LAN parties at college, and I absolutely love this thing. And if they would give me a freaking family plan, I'd love it even more. My kids would play it a ton. I can talk about Minecraft that we're playing, and I could, it'd be great. Come on, make that happen, Phil. Make that happen for me. All right, 22 years of Xbox. Moving on to story number 5. GTA reveal December 2023. What do we want? This is a big deal. GTA 5. Did I say 5? I think I said 5. GTA 6. If I said 5, I meant 6.
Can't count. What the hell's going on?
I know.
No, yeah. This is a. They teased this quite a lot. There was a big build-up of hype from the early, beginning of November, end of October into the beginning of November for this. And then the fact that they literally just a Twitter post of, we're going to do this, 6th for December. Here we go. Was it 6th December?
No.
December?
It's just December. It's just December. We don't know when. There's a lot of fuss about it being in the Game Awards, possibly.
Yeah.
So, but they don't need the Game Awards. I mean, that's a huge get for Jeff, to be honest. If I'm gonna be real honest, I think it's great if that's how they do it, fantastic. But they don't need the Game Awards. They could do their own thing and probably get a much larger audience that's interested in just their thing. But I don't know. It's definitely an industry friendly thing for them to do. And kudos to Jeff if he gets it. But yeah. Interested to see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care what they do with the game, if I'm completely honest. Just make sure Trevor's still in it, because he is by far my most favorite character ever in any of the Grand Theft Autos going is Trevor. Just hilarious. And the voice actor for him who plays him he's even funnier. So, and he literally when he's at games cons and stuff like that, or signings and stuff like that for the game, he really gets into character. People will ask him to swear at him, and he'll literally jump over the table, run through the crowd of people, and get right in their face and go full Trevor. And he's just, yeah. And I can't remember Stephen. Can't remember his name. I follow him on TikTok and Twitter because I think he's amazing. So.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I am interested to see what they do more from an industry standpoint of how do you make this new and fresh and different? When it came out, it was this crazy oh my gosh, you can do your thing with a stripper, or you can buy drugs, or you can do all this stuff. That was all what did they do to get that level again? What craziness are they going to go to? How are they going to break the industry and break norms and be that thing? I'm very interested to see how and if they do that, because that's what they did. That's what got them where they're at. And I want to see if they do it again or what that looks like. There's a lot of pressure on them to do something amazing, quite frankly, again.
Yeah, I mean, they've kept this going for 10 years on the online stuff. So they don't need to do a lot, because people just go nuts for this. People will eat this up as soon as it comes out. I know for a fact that it'll just get eaten up, and people will absolutely adore it. For me, it's how they carry the storyline, because Grand Theft Auto 4 with Nico Bellic was really, that was a great storyline, and the physics in that game were hilarious. It first introduced you being able to be launched through the window if you crashed the car and things like that. So it was the attention to detail with stuff that was interesting in Grand Theft Auto 4. And then they carried that attention to detail and the physics over into Grand Theft Auto 5, and then had the free storylines happening all at once, where you get to choose which character you were playing as during any of those storylines, especially when they were all working together, the bank heist and stuff like that. That was really a good laugh. You could swap and change between Michael in the helicopter, or Franklin, or Trevor. You could just swap and change between them, which was great. So for me, it's how they handle the storyline, and then what the writing's like in it as well, because some of the the interactions between the characters and stuff like that were hilarious in the writing. So for me, it's that they don't need to go and do anything that absolutely, for me, is mind blowing and game changing. They just need to carry on the fantastic writing and the comedy aspect of it, and making it feel like you're playing a movie, basically. Because that's, for me, that's what Grand Theft Auto 5 was all about. You were taking part in some crazy movie that you could, different storylines all happening all at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, so I agree on a successful financial front, they're going to make bank no matter what the hell they do. Like, they could put a dancing monkey in the game and call it GTA 6, and they would freaking sell 1 million copies in 2 seconds. So
I think they had a dancing monkey, and it was called, was it Bobo the Monkey? I can't remember. They had a monkey in it, I know, at one point.
I'm sure they did, Sean. I have no doubt. My point... You're killing me. You're killing me. My point is, financially, they're going to be successful. That's obvious. But the real question is, like, what are people going to think if it's like, well, if they did the same thing, if they just do the same thing over again, they're going to get some shit. They're going to be like, well, it's just GTA 5.2. Really, it's the exact same thing. So I don't know. Financially, they'll be successful. But I think if they really want to keep that swell of like the community that just loves them and loves what they do, I think they need to do something bigger. And I hope they do. I hope they go into new territory, do new things, be awesome. So that's my hope, Sean. That is all of our top stories. We have a couple of news bulletins here. Starfield gets an update coming this month. You can eat food right away. So there's that. Daily Microsoft.
Cue the crickets.
Yeah, I know, right? Daily Hambone, I know you were on. I don't know if you're still on. I wonder if Hambone cares about that. Daily Microsoft rewards cut to 5 points from 50. Boo. That's what I say about that. So your daily reward that you get for like doing a thing in Game Pass is getting sliced by 45 points.
Yeah, by quite a lot.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that's quite a lot.
Yeah.
I wonder if they were having issues with people being able to, like, on the cheap, keep getting Game Pass.
Yeah.
Because they were just hammering it all the time. So.
Yeah. I mean, this really felt like Bruce, a good listener of ours. I mean, that's like, he uses that a lot to get extra stuff. So I don't know. I think it stinks, but hey, they got to make up that ABK money somehow. So might as well be this way. Got to keep you buying it. Can't be doing any extras. I mean, even if they were like, hey, it's 5 points, but now we're adding this or we're adding that, but there really was no like additional help. It was just like, yeah, we're just getting rid of this. Or they're not getting rid of it, but they're slicing it by 45 of the 50 points. So, I mean, it's kind of pointless. Sorry. That's my dad joke for the day. You're welcome. You're welcome. If you didn't get it, then I'm sorry. Feature story, Xbox Game Awards. The snub heard around the world, Sean. They dropped him. And Jeff was like, listen, Game of the Year for not Starfield. I mean, it's a big deal. They didn't even, Starfield is not a Game of the Year. Let me just break it down here. It's not going to win Game of the Year because it didn't even get freaking nominated for Game of the Year.
Yeah, which it surprises me because, I'm just looking through all the categories now, and it could have been like best RPG.
It did.
Best sim.
It did. It got a nomination for best RPG.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it did not get... Hi-Fi Rush is on the mark for a bunch of stuff. Best art direction, best score and music, best audio design, best action game. I mean, man, Hi-Fi Rush is there. Oh, it's also innovation in accessibility, along with Diablo 4 and Forza Motorsports. And then best sports, your Forza Motorsports up for that. And best multiplayer, Diablo 4. So Microsoft's in the running for some things, but I think the big news is Starfield is not in the running for Game of the Year. Didn't even get a nomination. And I think that's the real big kick in the face, right?
Yeah, that surprises me.
Yeah. So what did get a nomination for Game of the Year? Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
See, I don't agree with the Super Mario Bros. Wonder for Game of the Year. It's not been out for me. It's not been out long enough, and it's good. I just don't think it's Game of the Year good. I mean, Nintendo. The fact that the little, small, tiny American Italian plumber has donned his cap and gone back out to make another game is the only reason why he is there. So, and Nintendo could do it every year. They could just remake or bring out another Mario game, and they can guarantee that it would make Game of the Year.
I mean, after a while, maybe not, but for a while, yes, you're probably right. I don't. So to be fair, I want to be real honest here. I really can't talk about a lot of these. I have literally only played The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom and Super Mario Bros. Wonder out of the 6 games that are up here.
Resident Evil 4, if that's the remake, yes, definitely, because the original was fucking awesome. The remake was even more awesome. So, yeah, that I can agree with. Tears of the Kingdom, yeah, there was a huge game, huge game, lots of stuff to do, graphically fantastic. The fact that they added the underworld and the sky, all like sky area and stuff like that. They took the game and made it bigger and layered it, and they did a lot. So,
yeah, if I had to choose, Tears of the Kingdom would be here above of Starfield. I don't disagree with
that. Baldur's Gate 3, that's getting some great traction. There seems to be a lot of love for that, and the fact that it's possibly rumored coming to GamePass soon, has got me quite excited because that's probably the only way I'll try it. Alan Wake 2, yep, I completely agree with that.
It's gotten great traction.
And Marvel's.
I will say what I saw of it, I actually, there was like there's a part of me that was jealous that I am too much of a fraidy cat to play it, because like the scene where they're fighting the crazy ghost for that like minute long scene, that was really cool. Like I was like, oh my gosh, I was riveted. I was watching the whole thing, but there's no way I could play it. I'm too much of a fraidy cat. So,
and then Marvel Spider-Man 2, that for the same reason why I think Grand Theft Auto 6 should continue its triple storyline thing. The fact that you can be Miles Morales or Peter Parker and be coincided and playing those games split, it's just great. So I completely agree with that. And Sony did well having that to its own console. It's the only reason the Marvel Spider-Man games are the only reason I would buy a PlayStation 5, just to play that, and then I would sell it. Well, yeah. So yeah, I'm quite happy for that list of Game of the Year stuff. I'm quite happy for, apart from Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
Yeah. Now, see, I can't talk about Marvel Spider-Man 2. I have heard some people say it's great, it's fantastic. It's also very samey to what they've been doing. But I can only say what I've heard other podcasts say. I have not played it. Super Mario Bros. Wonder, though, I'm with you, Sean. It's a fun game. They do some things different. Like you can be an elephant. There is some additions to the co-op that are great. Like you can't push each other off, so it's less frustrating that way. There's also some additions to who leads the co-op that is very frustrating, as in now I can't always lead it, so sometimes somebody else leads it and drags us all to our death. And I mean, I understand that, and I can't talk about it as a single-player game. It's a game I want to play single-player, but I won't play it until we beat it. I have one world left with the kiddos, and then I'll play it single-player. But I don't know, man. I could not put Mario Wonder ahead of Starfield. That's what I'll say.
The single-player side of Super Mario Bros. Wonder is fun. Like I've linked, so every time I play single player, I'm instantaneously online. So I'm using the whole standees thing. There's the ghosts there, and if you for whatever reason die, you can either, if there's people running around as ghosts in your screen, you can float your little ghosty Mario to one of those people, and they can like high five you back in. That I really do like, because some of these levels are quite difficult. I'm not by the, I'm a seasoned Mario player, so I'm saying pretty apt and speedy, but there is a couple of these levels that there is so much going off that I'm struggling to keep up and work my way around. Plus all the different, like the new badges and stuff that you can reassign, and sometimes you go into a level with the wrong badge. So for that reason, I can kind of see why it's there, but I still wouldn't put it above things like Starfield or what's the other really big one? I mean, Starfield or Forza Motorsport. I would have liked to have seen Forza appear, because I think they've done a really good job of it this time around. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's the game that I would put in there. Now, with that said, people, can we shut the F up about this Xbox tax? Okay? It's not a thing. Like, it's not a freaking thing. Like, Jeff doesn't care. In fact, here's what I bet happened. Jeff doesn't freaking care. He has 100 people that make this decision, like journalists and all kinds of people. They come down, the decisions there. I bet if you asked Jeff, and he had the ability to be like completely transparent, I bet Jeff would tell you, I wish I could put Starfield on this fucking list. Like if Starfield was on this list, it would take so much heat off of me. And like I don't care. Like, what, you think Jeff's like, I really just hate Xbox and I just want PlayStation? No, Jeff just wants to make money off of you watching his show, and that's fine. That's a thing. And he has other people make the decision, and that's it. And if your game didn't make this freaking list, it does not mean that you didn't have a fun time. FYI, my game of the year is Hogwarts Legacy, which didn't get nominated for shit. Nothing. Zero. Zip. Not a single thing. Okay? But that's okay, because I had a fun time, and that's all that matters. It doesn't mean that I have like a horrible taste. It just means that my game wasn't everybody's cup of tea. That's all right. That's not a big deal. Let's move on. We don't have to be like, the Game Awards sucked because my game wasn't on there. No, we don't have to do that. I step off of my high horse now, or my soapbox, or whatever I was on.
What I do like about the Game Awards is it highlights like I said, the journalistic side of stuff. Because, like you said rightly, Jeff Keighley doesn't turn around and say that game, that game, that game, and that game. He literally is a website that gets loaded up with all these different games. You've got to go to that website and you've got to spend the time voting for your game. So if you want your game the game that you've enjoyed most for this year to be nominated for something, you should go and vote for it. That's how these things work. It's like, if your kids were in some kind of talent show, you wouldn't not vote for them in the talent show to win or be nominated to win the talent show.
Well, but I don't believe that we have full. I believe this is done, as I know it, this is done by a group of journalists and other industry people. By group, I mean like 100.
Oh, okay. I thought there was an external way. There was a website that you could go and vote for things as well, or is that just once it's to vote for the winner?
I don't know. I'm looking.
I could be wrong, but anyway, the other the other thing I like about
wait. Here we go. Let's lock this down because there's somebody out there that's like, well, I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, the Game Awards. How voting works, according to the Game Awards website. The Game Awards winner are determined by a blended vote that accounts for jury votes and fan votes. The jury votes account for 90% of the voting weight, while fan votes make up the remaining 10%. All right, so there you go. So you do have some sway, but it's not near as much as the jury votes. And I'm gonna see if I can figure out like who makes up the jury, or at least like an idea. Anyways, so move on. I'll keep reading.
Jim Ryan.
You bastard.
Well, he's just because you were going on the line that Sony's always got a bigger foot in the Game Awards. It's just Jim Ryan's like, hey, I think this game should be. No, I kid. I
Oh my
absolutely
gosh,
kid.
I'm here trying to calm the people down, and you're here like lighting the fire. What's up with this? I like it.
So,
It works out well.
but anyway, the other thing that Game Award really brings, and like we've just had it now. We spent nearly 15 minutes now discussing this, is it brings up a discussion. It makes people talk about different aspects of the game and why they should be there, especially around Game of the Year. If you go down like the different nomination categories that you can have, best game direction, Alan Wake 2, purely, yes, that should be there. Marvel's Spider-Man 2. As much as people are saying it's samey, they took the two different Spider-Man games, glued them together, and gave you the option to play two storylines side by side. Completely agree. Super Mario Bros. Wonder, yes. They took a 2D Mario game and took it in a direction, giving you different options, brought in a whole new system where you get the Wonder Flower and it goes all trippy, which I'm going to talk about in the dashboard. And then the online aspect of it, and give you some more powers. Legends of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. They give you the sky, they give you the underneath, like they give you the depths. So they took an already massive open RPG world for Zelda and took it in different directions, which in this is vertically up and down, but they took it in different ways. They also gave you different powers to what you had last time. So, yep. So there's a lot of these, and I could go through, I could do this for the whole list, like best adaptations and stuff like that. I could go through music score, best score and music. Yes, Hi-Fi Rush should be in there. Legends of Zelda definitely needs to be in there because the soundtrack to that game is fantastic. Art design, yep, I can agree with all the ones that are in there, especially Dead Space and Resident Evil.
So it's 100 leading media and influencer outlets across the globe. I just want to say there's stuff like there's people like Kinda Funny and stuff like that. Okay, so our hope is that Garrett's on, our founder, fearless leader, Garrett. Our goal is that we get a vote. We being the Tracker family, we get a freaking vote for the Game Awards. Like that needs to be like next level goal for us. We need to get to that point where people are like we get mailed out like who do we nominate for the freaking Game Awards? That's where I want to see our name on this list. That's what I want to see.
So, and the way that is done is by the people that listen. So if you're listening to this, you're watching this, help us, support us, go tell friends, check out this podcast. That is the only way to do that. We can get that sort of traction is by word of mouth. So yeah, go tell people, share this, do it.
We're gonna choose all the PlayStation games once you choose us. That's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna choose every freaking. I'm just
no, but as part we as the Tracker family, there is three of us. There's PS Plus. There's the PlayStation Tracker. There's the Nintendo Online Tracker. And then obviously there's a Game Pass Tracker. So
yeah, we legit as a family need to be there.
Yeah, we cover all three of these huge gaming conglomerates.
We're like the blended family of gaming.
Oh, that's a tagline. That's definitely a tagline.
Yeah. So. I think what we need to do is make like a Brady Bunch, like da 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 da. Just like bring in all the ones at a time. That's what we need to do. I'm telling you. Anyway, I don't know what just happened to this show. Man, this was rough. All right, so all for you guys. So that is what's going on with the Game Awards. I'm excited. I'm okay that Starfield's not on there. Hogwarts Legacy should have been nominated for all these, but whatever. It's all it is what it is. So is there, hey, one more question and then we're going to move on to the dashboard. I promise. What game would you put on the game of the year? Oh, you kind of told me, Forza Motorsports.
Forza. Yeah,
okay.
Definitely.
All right. Well, you didn't say Doom. So, I feel like that was a success.
There hasn't been one yet.
Well, it doesn't mean you don't say Doom it. I figured it'd be like Doom. Doom should win Game of the Year every year, irregardless of whether it's out. Even new ones out.
The replayability of those games are fantastic. So yes.
Onto the dashboard. The dashboard it is. Are you going to go first, Sean? Are you going first or am I going first? Who's going first?
You go first because I want to hear what you have to say. I'm excited to hear what you have to say about Spirittea and Coral Island.
I can do that. So I finished Miniko's Night Market. I mean, there's still a lot of like collectible junk I could do, but I'm not going to do it because I have too many other cozy, comfy games to play. It's got a really fun story. I mean, you play through the story. It doesn't take a ton of a long time. My only complaint would be at the end. To actually like 100% it is a little monotonous, which I know a lot of games are monotonous to 100%, but a lot of the 100%ing is tied to the night market. So really, if I wanted to do that, all I would really be doing is like waking up and going right back to sleep for 6 times so I could get to it, because the night market's only on Saturday. So I would literally just like after the night market, wake up, do whatever I needed to do to like get some friendships up for the 100%, and then go just sleep for 7 days until the next night market. So there's that. But other than that, Miniko's Night Market has a really fun romp. If you love those kind of games, you should give it a check. I enjoyed my time with it for sure. Wild Hearts. I had a lot of fun with Wild Hearts. I mean, my taste. This is my taste of Wild Hearts. It's a fun game. The art style, I think, and the movement. The movement is, I don't know, it just feels better than Monster Hunter in my opinion. I know like Monster Hunter's huge and all the fans probably think that's awful. But for me, it just makes more sense. It feels better for me. I like the art style better. I like this idea of like, I've made this camp and now I go out and I find a beast and then I come back to the camp. It all just seems to sit. I was very confused when I played Monster Hunter, and this game seems to guide me a bit better of like what I'm doing. I don't feel so overwhelmed and lost in menus and 5,000 different like attack combos. So I feel like if I had time, I could get into Wild Hearts a lot easier than I get into a game like Monster Hunter. And there's Monster Hunter fans that are like, well, of course you can, because Monster Hunter's better and there's just more to take in. That might be true. But either way, I enjoyed Wild Hearts. Spirittea, talked about this game. I'm having a lot of fun with this game. You come to the town, you know, like you do in all these games, like, oh, you take this trip to this town and then you find this bathhouse and it's like you have the ability to sense. You make this tea. Wait for it. I know you're probably not going to know what it's called, but I'm going to give it to you anyways. You make the Spirittea. I know. You're like blown away. Where'd that come from? And then once you make this and drink it, you can see spirits that other people can't see. And so you have this bathhouse made of spirits, and you bring these spirits in, and you got to kind of sit them where they're supposed to be sit, treat them the right way. They give you money when they go out. You got to clean the towels, make sure the water's the right temperature, all this stuff. You get money. You go back out. You can buy a fishing pole and do all the fun, comfy, cozy stuff. And then you have to solve like problems in the world. Like somebody's like, my bathtub's got weeds growing out of it and I don't know why. And so you go to the bathtub and you turn on the Spirittea vision, and all of a sudden you see that there's a ghost hanging out in the bathtub. And so you have to talk to him and get him to leave the bathtub. And then once he does that, he then joins you as a possible customer, which gets you more money in the bathhouse. And so that's the whole gist of it. It is a fun game. I'm enjoying it. I talked a bit about Dungeons 4. I really just played this game because I had no idea what it was. It's a nation builder game, except the nation you're building is hell and you're building it with demons. And then when you think you have enough demons, you take on the next task, and that task is usually to like ruin whatever good there is in the overworld. You know, it was fun. It was fun. If you're like, that is definitely something I want to do, then there you go. Lastly, Coral Island. Sean, this is my game.
This is what I want to hear because for this reason and this reason alone.
Yeah, this is my game, Sean. This is the game I want to play. It is everything I want. It is the new Animal Crossing with a different art style. It's got fluid animations, which is always great. There's something about these games when you like do when you're chopping down a tree or you're like farming, the motions just don't always feel great. And that really takes you out of the game and what you're doing. This game's great. Fantastic. Except somehow the frame rate, I know I just said the animation's great. The animations when you're doing the actions are really good. The frame rate's awful. I don't even know how you do this on an Xbox Series X. Like literally, I can be walking and then I'm just like I'm on the other side of the screen somehow. Like I just stuttered my way across the screen. I don't understand what happened here. Now, good news, I have a feeling these can be fixed with a quality of life patch. Hopefully that comes out soon. That's not really the worst problem. I was willing to fight through that and be like, all right, this game is still really good. The world they've built is beautiful. There's so much to do. It's great how everything kind of extends. There's this story of like this evil corporation that wants to drill oil and you have to try to like figure it out. That's just like the very tip of it. I just got the very beginning of the story. And of course, just like always, they're like, well, maybe if we make the city and the village and really great, then we won't need this corporation because people will come back. And so obviously your goal is to make this place great. And you have this huge farm that you can do whatever you want. And it's so fantastic. I gave my 10th item to the museum. Very excited. Gave it to the museum. And my game just utterly crashed. And so I woke up and I did it again. And it crashed again. And I'm going to tell you this because I didn't want to come on here today and say this and have it fixed and have me feel like an a-hole because I really want to love this game. So I went out again right before this podcast and gave that 10th item to the museum and it still crashed. Like it's a legit bug. And the giving to the museum is like one of the ways you grow the town and you make it more beautiful. So you really need to do it. So it has some real frame rate issues. I have found one bug. I don't know how many more there might be. I've kind of put it on the back burner for Spirittea. And to be honest, I would not be playing Spirittea right now if Coral Island would at least not crash on me. I mean, I would fight through. I am enjoying the game so much. I would fight through the frame rate issues if it would just not crash on me. So I am really bummed. I still have high hopes that this game will be good. It doesn't say it's in game preview, Sean, but what it says is Coral Island 1.0. So I think that might that might be another way of saying game preview. So, it is what it is, but this has everything that I would want from a game like this. I could bury myself in this game for a long time.
What I'm now going to do is after this is I'm going to set that download in on the Xbox and I'm going to see if I have a similar issue frame rate wise or if it's just a Series S issue.
Oh man. What do you want me to buy an X, don't you? If you tell me you don't have an issue.
Well,
man. I don't even want to think.
But yeah, but I just to see because, we need to test these things. You're an S, I'm an X.
That's true.
We'll see how it goes.
That's true. I don't disagree. And it has been a real issue. I just love this game. Sean, I was like, I know this is the game. So like I started a spreadsheet for Maniko's Night Market, but quickly realized that the game was a little bit smaller in scale. So I didn't really need it. So I put my spreadsheet away. I didn't get very far in it. And I started to just sell stuff because I realized, okay, I see how this is going. But this game is one of them where it's like, just like it's got everything from Animal Crossing to Story of Seasons, and the Story of Seasons people are the old school Harvest Moon people, not the new Harvest Moon, which isn't as great in my opinion. So it's got all that stuff, except it's wrapped in this new art style, and I think it could have a better story. I haven't got that far yet, but I think it could have a better story. And it just feels so great. You can mine, you can fish, you got the bugs. You got it all. All right, I could go on forever about how much I love it and also how heartbroken I am that it's not working correctly. Like, I could literally talk about this for too long. So that is what I have been playing.
All right. So what I've been playing, and I have 2 weeks to play games and talk about them because I wasn't here last week, unfortunately for me and you, and everybody listening. You did a really good job though, and I have to say that you absolutely killed it. So I have played and finished Descent. Anyway, I finished and played that game, the climbing simulator with no words. I finished it. I started playing it via console and I finished it via the cloud. I had absolutely zero issues while playing it via the cloud. I did that with the laptop and my Series X controller. Fantastic game. Absolutely loved it. I'd advise go play it. Nick did it absolute justice when you talked about it for the first time, but it is a very beautifully well-made game. The climbing aspect of it is great. There is the puzzle side of it is good in terms of having to figure out like climbing and how to time things. And yeah, I absolutely adored it. So I won't flog that much.
It is a beautiful game. A lot of fun. I mean, fun's not the right word. It is fun, but I don't know.
It's relaxing.
Yeah.
I found it really relaxing for a climbing puzzle game. The fact that, like you said, you could fall from any height and not die. The only way you could walk off the edge is if you were tethered by the rope to something.
Mm-hmm.
If you'd anchored somewhere, that's the only way you could walk off the edge.
I really love that. I just cannot say enough. I know I mentioned it, but it makes it feel so realistic because it's like, okay, I literally made it to the top and never died. Like, and they don't. I don't know. It just, yeah. That game was a real treasure for sure. Okay, I'm done. I promise.
Yep. And I am going to go back and slowly 100% it because it's an easy game to go back at 100% and it's an enjoyable game to replay. So like if I ever find a moment where I'm not too busy doing somewhere and I have my laptop with me, I could quite happily dive on and play it. So, Yep. Thirsty Suitors. I have been playing that. Bonkers game. But so much fun. If you enjoy, and I think I put out a bit of a tweet about this, but if you enjoy turn-based combat, so like your Pokemon games and stuff like that, where like you do a move, they do a move, blah blah blah, back and forth. If you enjoy stuff like that, with the aspect of you have buffs that you can do, there's ways you can make their defense drop, make your attack raise, and so on and so forth. Then you will love this anyway. But then if you also like tongue-in-cheek style comedy and humor, it's just even better. The moving around is all done either by walking, but that's only in small areas. So like inside Jala's house and stuff like that is all done by walking. But if you're out and about in the town, it's all skating, which is quite easy and self-explanatory. And there's some of the game is angled around the skating aspect in terms of you have challenges to do where it's to score points or collect certain items in a certain time frame. Easy to do, fun to do. They've done that very well. Nice and simple, not very many buttons to it, kind of thing. But the story is just so funny. So you play Jala, who is a young woman. Let's put it that way. A young woman who has moved away from home. She's been away for 3 years. And she's been in and out of different relationships. It's got a very Scott Pilgrim versus the world vibe in terms of like you've come back to your hometown and there's exes that you have to meet, and they're like the boss battles that you have to have are against your exes, and you spark up new relationships with them, and they can help you in different ways. And you've kind of got this constant narration of Jala's imagination and mind, which is the face of her sister, who you're ultimately looking for her sister to talk to her, because you become disattached and fallen out. And around all that, the storyline is just funny. The relationship that you have with her father and her mother and her aunt are really funny. There's a cooking aspect of it where in her house, there's a lot of quick time events that you have to do, and you can do cooking, but while you're doing this, they're telling a story about their relationship. And it's a really fun game. There's some adult humor in it, and there's a lot of relationship stuff. So I wouldn't say, I'd say 14-year-old plus. It'd be pretty good to play this. There's that much relationship style stuff that I don't think Emily, who's 12, well, nearly 12, would do very well with this. But in the back of my mind, I kind of thought this is something that Jay would probably enjoy. Not so much for the turn-based stuff, but other than that, yeah. So yeah, I've been playing that a lot. I've put maybe 4 or 5 hours into that now. And if it wasn't for the next game we're going to talk about, I would probably have played a lot more of that this evening. So
it shocks me. I never in a million years thought that I would have never thought that you would still be playing this game. I was like, oh, this is going to be like an in and out for Sean. But it's crazy. I think it's cool though. Good for you.
When I first started it, I got the feeling of in and out, but then the more I actually read and listened, and it helps as well that it's not all just reading through the narration. It's voiced quite well. And then it's just the funny actions, like when you're doing the cooking and stuff like that. If you do a really good job of it, of the quick time events, like her dad will do something really weird, like he'll do a handstand on the kitchen counter and spin round. I mean, it's just constant quirkiness like that keeps me drawn in, and just bizarrely, yeah. And it's really well made as well. Lots of color, and the graphics aren't fantastically amazing, but they're also very hand drawn and lots of color. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's that and the level of the stuff around relationships and stuff like that, and you having to listen, and I don't know. It seems to really draw me in, and I'm really enjoying it. So.
No, that's cool. Hambone talks about the walking was weird. Says it's really stiff.
Yeah, that's why I like the skating aspect of it. So the walking is slow. You can hold a button to run. I'd advise holding the button to run.
Okay.
Yep. And then Forza, I have been hammering the living daylights out of Forza. I started playing the online matches, and I was doing okay with them. I mean, my rating on there at the moment is a S, so which means I'm doing really well in terms of not driving people off the track. But that doesn't mean that people aren't driving me off the track, which is what I fell into this evening. Lots and lots of races that I did this evening online were people that obviously were just giving it full send, leaning into you in corners, using you to brake, driving you off the track. Kind of turned me off a little bit to that. So went back to the career mode. I finished the first 2 tours. I finally designed a paint job for my own car. I've tried to recreate the GamePass tracker logos and stuff like that, which is quite difficult to do on there. And there currently isn't a way of uploading your own personalized graphics.
That's a bummer. But I mean,
yeah, I know that
given how gamers are, I get it. Just gonna say that.
I fully understand that they would just be penises everywhere.
Yes, that's 100% true.
But it'd have been nice to be able to use them. If you could submit them to be kind of adjudicated and okay or verified, that'd have been okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's motorsport games. I'm either heavy into them, like for a short period of time, and then fall off, or like I'll just nip in and out. Like Forza Horizon 5, I was heavy into it first, then dropped out, and then was back and forth with it. But this, like, I can play a lot. I like the handling of the cars, the simulation side of the driving is just superior to what I've experienced before on a console. So, and that's what's bringing me back all the time.
So if I can ask, like if there's in the online mode, if they're knocking you off the road, do they get penalized at all? Because I mean, that doesn't seem fair.
Yeah, but the penalization is nothing. So like if they knock you off the road, they might get half a second.
Oh, okay.
But they screwed your race up, especially if you've gone right into the gravel and stuff like that. You can lose 5, 6, 7 places really quickly.
Sure.
So
yeah.
I've changed, I've gone in as well and I've changed some settings. So like I've changed the field of view in the cockpit. I need to get some screen grabs and share them because the standard view is like 45 degrees or 45. I don't know if that's degrees or just the size of it, but I've moved it up to 55, and it's made the view from inside the cockpit a hell of a lot better. Because what I was noticing is that the difference between certain cars, the view through the windscreen was getting a lot smaller, especially as you went into like the Gran Turismo style, like the GT Cup cars and stuff like that, because they've got the roll cage, they've got bigger wing mirror, bigger rear view mirrors and stuff like that, because you can't move your head as much in one of those cars. It was getting a bit too crowded, so I've changed the field of view and I can see a lot more, which has helped with being able to gauge where other cars are on the track. So,
Cool.
And then finally, I've got my hands on Mario Wonder. So it was Logan's birthday on Wednesday. I took it to work to try and play it, but I couldn't bring myself to take it out of the plastic film wrapping, because that's the best part of getting a new game. So he's been playing that on his Lite, and then when he's not been playing it, I've been playing it on the OLED Switch, and very much enjoying it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've been having a good time with my kiddos. It is a bit frustrating at times, but we're having a good time going through all the different worlds. And what's your favorite what am I trying to say? Your favorite power up?
I've only used the elephant so far. I haven't had a chance to get to the drill or anything yet.
Okay. So,
but I think I can get into that point. I'm literally on my way up to the second world. So.
Okay. Yeah. I really like the drill. That's a fun one. The elephant's cool, but it's not. I don't know. It's not my favorite. Although Elephant Peach does look pretty funny. It's got this
other than being able to flick things out of the way and spray water. I don't really see what else it does.
Yeah. I don't know what I think of it. I also. And this could be like because I'm an old gamer, but it's like, I don't know. I kind of wish they go back to like Lemmy and all the Koopa kids. Like, why are we here with this rando worm in this flower kingdom or whatever? Like, or okay, maybe we're there, but like, let's bring back the Koopa kids. Like, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they're not a thing anymore, and Nintendo's moving on to new things, but I don't know.
I know, but I want to talk about the aspect of touching a weird shiny flower and everything going trippy.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean that's accurate. That's exactly what happens. I mean, at least it's not a mushroom. That would be a little bit too much on the nose. I wonder if they were like, let's use a mushroom, and they're like, no, we can't do mushrooms. Let's do a flower.
No, but they can use plants.
Okay, I mean that's fair. I can't disagree. I don't disagree with you, but.
But yeah, I the first time it happened, I was like, and then it's the reaction to the little flowers in the bottom that are like, whoa, this is really trippy. What's going on? And it's like, yeah, okay. And I think they're really good at they're really good. There's little flowers that talk to you and say random stuff. Some of the stuff they say is really funny, and you can help them. You could like the swimming ones where you could move them around and. Stuff like, and then there was one where you jumped out of the water and you stood next to him and he just went, you're so soggy.
Yeah, I think they're great. Some people really don't like them, and I don't understand it. I think they're like one of the best parts of this game, quite frankly. So sometimes you'll find like a spot where it's like hard to get to, and like I love the one time, at least I don't know, in the one world I did, and they're like, I haven't seen a person in forever. How are you? And just like, I don't know. I think they're great, but some people don't like them. So,
the only thing I don't like about this game is they changed the jump noise.
Yep, they did. It's weird, and it seems to happen when you play with 4 players. It happens a whole hell of a lot. It gets a little annoying. It's like yeah. It's a little like it. Oh yeah, you're not wrong. They changed it, and I don't know if it would be as annoying with the old noise, but yeah, I was at times being like, okay. 4 jumps.
Yeah, I didn't notice it first, and then like I took Logan to school this morning. He was playing it on his Lite in the back, and we were kind of just sat waiting for the school gates to open because it was raining. And I was like, "That's a different noise. Why is the?" And now I can't not hear it. So.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. Anything else before we just chat for a bit?
No, I feel like we've already started that, but yeah,
let's officially chat.
It's party
Now we can officially chat. Because it's party chat. That's literally in the name of this segment. Oh, I went to the wrong thing, though. Let me... Oh, hold on. There we go. Nope, button's not working. I don't know. Don't ask me. Here we go. I'll do it manually. That's fine. It's not that hard. Whatever, Stream Deck.
Some things have changed.
Yeah. Yeah, they're aware. Yeah. Oh, man. So we have Thanksgiving, Sean. Sean, you need to... when you come down to visit me, we always talk about, like, one day. You need to do it on Thanksgiving because you're not missing anything over there. And you get to see, like, a great holiday over here.
Yeah, I mean, for the food aspect, I would absolutely adore to do Thanksgiving.
Yeah, man. Thanksgiving's at my house this year. Doing a turkey and a ham because my mother-in-law is allergic to turkey, poultry. I don't know. I don't get it. Whatever.
Well,
Happy
that's just foul.
Yeah, she's foul. She's a very nice lady.
I didn't say that. I said...
What did you say?
It's just foul.
Oh,
I said it's just foul. As in, like, the...
Oh, thank the Lord she couldn't find a podcast if you gave her a five-page manual. So I don't have to worry about her hearing any of this. She can barely find the text message app, so we're good. Don't worry. All's well. No, she really... I love my in-laws. So, yeah, but they're coming over here. The other day, another food-related thing I did want to have a conversation with you about. Do you have... Probably not, because it seems very American. Do you have all-you-can-eat Chinese buffets?
Yes.
Okay, you do. All right. I didn't think you'd say yes to that. Sean, not going to lie, I walked into one the other day.
Rolled out the other side.
Yeah. And I really, I looked around. Everything looked a touch sketchy, and I was like, well... I feel like I'm taking my life in my own hands here, but what the hell? It sounds like it'll be good. Like, literally, I felt like this does not seem like a wise decision. Now, to be fair, it was all fine. All was well. Nothing happened. But, yeah, I don't know. It just seemed a bit, it didn't seem entirely clean, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But it was all good. I didn't die or get
my
sick,
experience,
the
ones in my experience is that when they don't look or seem or smell as clean as they are, that's when the food tastes the best.
That's right. Yeah, so, I don't disagree with that. That's true. That's 100% true. Yeah. Pepper steak. We have a couple. That's my thing. I love peppered steak.
I'm a big the really skinny egg noodles, not the chow mein style ones, but the really thin egg noodles with any form of meat, basically, and veg. Just yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Do you have the meat on a stick? Do they have meat on a stick? It kind of looks like a rat, but it's like reddish brown. No, not a thing over there. It's like
possibly. I mean, when it comes to food on a stick, I will eat any food on a stick. I don't know. I don't know if it's the damn stick too. Yeah. I have never had a corn dog. I would love to have a corn dog. That is like the ideal.
I'm sorry. Wait, what? You have never had? I think we did have. This is coming back to me that this is a conversation we've had.
Yeah. It's not a thing. They're not a thing over here.
Oh man, I'll mail you one.
Oh.
Do they not even have them frozen? Like in the frozen section? Like that's just nothing. No.
I'm not that I've ever seen.
Okay. I mean, they wouldn't be as good. To be fair, they wouldn't be as good. So we get them for my kids. If you put them in the oven and then broil them a little bit, you can get a faux fry to them and that's okay. But if you do the microwave instructions, that's the nastiest crap in the world. It's like soggy white bread wrapped around a hot dog, basically. Like the absolute worst. And my kids love it. I'm like, whatever. You guys are weird.
So no.
Well, there you go. Anything? You doing anything this week or last week? Or?
I worked a lot last week. This is probably one of the reasons why I slept straight through the alarm to wait back up for the podcast. So I had my first responder training refresher last week. So my role at work is doing several roles, but so kind of patching people up and sending them on the way or sending them to hospital is one of those roles. So I had a 3-day training course for that, which all went well. And then I worked my normal 2 shifts. then like by the time I'd done all that, it was Saturday and I was absolutely knackered. So we didn't do a great deal over the weekend. And then it's been Logan's birthday this week, so did lots of preparing for that. Monday, Tuesday. He opened all his presents Monday. He got some cool toys. Seemed to be very Lanky Box. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but Lanky Box has been his theme.
What's a Lanky Box? I gotta know now.
I have no idea.
Okay, I'm looking it up. All right, it's happening.
But so he got some of those bits and pieces. He got like a really big, tall Mario plushie, which is almost as tall as him. And then some bits and pieces of Lego, and then obviously Super Mario Wonder. And then this weekend is his birthday pie. So we're taking him and 3 of his little buddies go-karting. And then taking him for some McDonald's because, kids love chicken nuggets. And then we're supposed to be taking him trampolining, but he's kind of sprung us this evening that he doesn't want to go trampolining. So we're now trying to think of something else to do afterwards because the soft play that we would normally take him to have got a sensory session all day. So they're not open to the general public.
What is soft play? What is that?
Best way to describe it is like a giant climbing frame wrapped in foam.
That sounds like fun.
And tube and ball pits. Yeah.
That sounds great. Okay, so they are like the gotcha boxes, basically. So
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's what a Lanky Box is. You open the box and there's like a plushie in there. You don't know what plushie you're going to get until you open it up, blah, blah, blah. Ironically, in Miniko's Night Market, they're called Boximals, and you have to collect them. The most annoying part of the entire game, because some guy's like, I want a catfish Boximal. So then you just have to go and like basically plunk money into this freaking thing until it gives you a catfish Boximal. Absolutely annoying. There are parts of that game that I don't think they had any idea what they were doing. But that's what it reminds me of.
It's one of the things that he likes to watch on YouTube. Okay. Yeah, he's pretty limited to what he can watch. Like he uses the YouTube Kids app. It's pretty limited to what he can watch. So it tends to be Minecraft, Mario, and Lanky Box.
Mm-hmm. No. Oh, Sean, I didn't talk about that. You said Minecraft. I didn't bring this up, but I got my kids back in Minecraft. Not just Minecraft, but survival Minecraft. Specifically, they said, would you play Minecraft with me? And I said, I cannot build another freaking house in pacifist creative mode. Like, I just can't do it. I was like, so I'm playing Minecraft, we're playing survival. And they agreed. And we played, and we've had a fantastic time. Like, I mean, just like hilarious stories of me dying, and then we made a shelter, and it got blown up by a freaking creeper, and we made another shelter, and that got blown up, and then we found a beach, and the beach kind of just has gone now. And then I think we finally got the spot. We found this gigantic piece of like stone, and so this is the spot that we're going to be at. So it's pretty great. We've been having a lot of fun in Minecraft. We've put too much time into Minecraft. I won't tell my wife how much I'm letting the kids play, to be honest.
See, I don't have an issue with Minecraft as long as you are using it for like the whole redstone thing. You can and making circuits and switches. If you can get the kids into like and not gates and OR gates using the redstone stuff, it becomes educational.
That's true. Right? Yeah. Right now we're just trying to survive. We've got this gigantic house, and we're building rooms for each of us, and everybody's doing their own thing. And yeah, it's I just having a great time with it. So yeah, let's see. Thanksgiving. There's that. We had a cookout. We did probably one of the last cookouts of the year. Love it. We had hot dogs and solo stove. It's this fun little stove my mom got us for Christmas. It's fantastic. You can have it like on your deck, so you don't have to be out in the grass. So it sits on the deck, but it doesn't burn the deck. That's always helpful. And then yeah, we roasted marshmallows and hot dogs. It was like 45 degrees, so just the right temperature for a campfire. I hate when I'm having a campfire and it's like 90 degrees outside. It just feels it's like I'm just like I don't want to be on a fire. I'm freaking hot. But fall campfires are the best because it's just chilly enough that you want it.
Cool. So. I have an update
that's
for
7.2 Celsius, by the way. I just did the math for you.
Yeah, I gotta say, I can kind of almost figure it out now. And like 90 degrees is like 25 to 30.
Let's see. I'll do it. I'm
And I only
32.
know that.
32 is 90 degrees. Yeah.
Yeah, I only know that because of like taking kids' temperature. So like I know when Logan's too warm is usually like 110, which is about 37, 38. So yeah, there you go. There's a bit of parenting mass for you as well as temperature mass. But no, it's I think when did I last mention this? So Lindsay's doing her bachelor's at the moment in education. And I can remember when she got like halfway through her bachelor's degree, she was like, I am not doing my master's. Do not whatever, like, don't even tempt me to say I'm never going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I absolutely despise doing the bachelor's. It's too much work. It's lots of writing. I'm in the middle of it. She's in the middle of a 10,000 word dissertation now for a final assignment. So yeah, she signed up to do a master's. She's just it's awesome to watch. She's from leaps and bounds with the educational side of stuff, and she got an offer from a university in nearby Sheffield to do sensory style, like sensory educational needs and development, which I think is what SEND stands for. I could be completely wrong with that, so I do apologize if I butchered that to anyone, but she's going to go along the lines of doing it in that, and she's just so excited. But at the same time, she's like, it's going to take up 3 years of her life as well as working full time and being a mum. So, but
yeah, that's I could not imagine watching Becca do like, so she got her master's and we were married but no kids. So, and she was still like I don't know if I've told this story on, I mean, definitely not Game Pass record, but I don't even know Game Pass news. But like the one day I came home and I like sat down, I was like, are you going to watch TV? She's like, no, I'm not. And she's like on her computer doing something. I'm like, okay. So I like grab the controller, turn it on, start playing something. And and she's like, you just get to play video games? Is that what you're going to do? And I was like, yes, I don't have anything else. Maybe I didn't know the right answer. I don't think there was one. And she was like, I'm over here and I have to write papers. I write papers after I get home from work. And she just like, and I'm like, did I do something? And then like after the end, she was like, no, you didn't. But I just so much work. And it was just so funny. Like,
yeah,
it was like the first marriage thing where I was like, I don't know the right answer, but if you tell me, I'll say it, please.
Yeah. There is one of those instances where there is no right answer. You just kind of have to go.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is like, I'm going to go down the whole typical male thing, but that is one of those issues where you either have to shut up, throw chocolate, or run.
That's right. Yeah.
100%. Or all of the above.
100%. Well, all right, sir. We've been on this thing for almost an hour and 40 minutes. We should probably wrap her up.
So, yeah, I mean, thank you very much, everybody, for listening. As I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, if you want to get in touch with us on any social media site, you can do. We are on all the apps, just at Game Pass Tracker. And if you want to send us an email, ask us any questions, give us any feedback, you can do. That is show@gamepasstracker.com. And use the link in the description to get your Game Pass subscription. It helps us. It helps you. And that is all. And until next time, guys, we shall see you later.
See you later, guys.